Hey everyone, this is Sunny Justice from It's a Criming Shame. So before we get started, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing and please give this video a like and a share. Now, this story today is going to be about Nicola Bulley from Lancashire in England in the UK, if anyone doesn't know or hasn't heard of this case. It is pretty much getting to be a well-known case around the world. This is a mother of two and her partner, Paul. And she just disappeared on January 27th. She dropped her kids off at school, went for a walk with a dog named Willow, and has not been seen again. Now, the UK police out there have no idea exactly what happened to her. Her phone was found on a bench with the dog leash, and Willow was running around. And this all transpired in a short amount of time. So we're going to get into that. Now, before we get into that, I want to talk about Abby and Libby, of course. So we all know that February 13th today, on a Monday, which is a Monday today as well, and this is 2023, and that happened in 2017. Okay, so Abby and Libby went missing, and the time pretty much, is just happening now in the Eastern Standard Time that Abby and Libby, of course, ran into the BG on the bridge, and the photo was uploaded at 2:13. So it would be 2:24 in the Eastern Standard Time right now. So don't forget, tonight at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time and tomorrow night we'll be hosting a live with regards to Delphi and Abby and Libby. Now tonight Adam and I will be discussing Abby and Libby in the Delphi case, and then tomorrow night my twin sister will be here, Alexa, Deb, Adam, and myself, and we'll be doing tributes, and we'll be talking about, again, the Delphi case. And we've all done special little things for the girls, of course, in celebration of their life. So, again, ironic, that today is Monday, and this exactly happened on a Monday in 2017. So, again, join us tonight at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and on the 14th, which is Valentine's Day, on February 14th of 2023 at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Rest in peace, angels. Rest in peace. And may justice come to Abby and Libby. Okay, so let's get started into Nicola, and let's exactly give you a grasp. So here is the basically the bench where her phone and the dog leash was found. There's searchers in the water, and these searchers, of course, believe that Nicola maybe, because there was no sign of really what happened to her, that perhaps that she had fallen into the water. But, that was January 27th. Today's the 13th, and still no idea what happened to Nicola. The poor daughters, the poor, partner, Paul. I can only imagine what they must be feeling, and the family members. Like, there's literally no clue what happened to Nicola. So this, like I said, this is the bench here. Now let's kind of look at this timeline. So we have January 27th. Nicola drops off children at the St. Michael's on Wire Primary School, leaves her car in the car park. At 8:43, she is seen walking east along River Wire path from Garstang Road, okay? So at 8:46, she arrives at the gate. And then at 8:50 is seen by a dog walker on Lower Field. Their dogs briefly interact before the witness leaves via the river path. Now then at 8:53, Nicola emails her boss 3 minutes later. At 9:01, she logs on to the team call, for the work team call, and, like I said, has the team meeting going on. And then at 9:10, she's seen walking with the dog along the upper field. Okay, and as you can see in the picture, you can see where the upper field is. At 9:30, the team call ends, but Nicola stays logged on. At 9:35, dog harness and lead found on bench with her phone still connected to the work call. At 10:15 a.m., and this is according to, again, the person that did this mapping here and the timeline, alarm is raised by a walker who finds Nicola Springer's spaniel Willow running loose. Okay, So what happened to Nicola? And again, there's different timelines here. This is St. Michael's, the school. There's a broken CCTV camera. Of course, right? Just of course. Last sighting. Abandoned house here. Bench where belongings were found. And so here's just, again, some pictures here of them searching in the water. This is Nicola right here, and their Cocker Spaniel Willow. Searchers that have been going in and out of the water trying to find where Nicola is. This is Nicola again, last seen on the 27th of the 1st of 2023. That's January 1st, 2023. These are her friends and that family, just wishing for Nicola to be brought back home safely. So, again, this is definitely a very intriguing case, because what happened to Nicola? So I was sitting here thinking about it all last night, trying to, think of the options. So, of course, one, we have the fact that Nicola is in the water, but yet they have yet to find her. And they say that usually after 6 days that, that basically Nicola would have been floating in the water if she perhaps is in the water. So I'm curious what you guys think, okay? And I really want you to leave your comments in the comment section. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a few options to think about. And I was thinking about, again, this last night. And then at the end of this, I'll tell you my personal thoughts or theory. Okay, so we have the water, where they think that she's in the water. So I'm curious, how many people after, let's see, again, the 27th to the 13th of February, how many people believe that Nicola ended up in the water, that somehow she tripped, fell into the water, considering the fact that she's a strong swimmer, and it wouldn't be very deep, of course, if she did land in the water. Like if she stood up, it would probably be at her waist. And so there's that theory, or there's, that's what the UK police have believed happened to her. Now, in all of this, it is said to be that there was 2 fishermen that someone had reported seeing the day before at exactly the same time, and that these 2 fishermen or whatever kind of gave this guy this creepy vibe, and so he had reported them. And then we have the witness of the lady that interacted with Nicola's dog as well, as she was in the field. So going back over to the timeline, let's go back over to there for a second. Okay, so going back over to this timeline here, let me just make it a little bit bigger again. Okay, so another possibility, perhaps, okay, because we're just trying to think of things that normally tend to happen. Now, there's also times that people portray that something happened to them, but really they just left their life. Okay, so knowing Nicola has 2 daughters and what seemingly to be this, a good relationship going on, 2 children, and Paul just seems to be, absolutely just heartbroken, anxiety, tired, and just wants his girlfriend Nicola back, the father of the 2 children. So how many of you guys think that possibly that Nicola just, something was going on in her life? Oh, now Nicola, just so you guys know, she was a mortgage advisor, okay? And she had lived in the Lancaster area. And she had lived in the Lancaster area for 25 years. And I believe a couple days prior, okay, to Nicola going missing. They had just celebrated their 9th anniversary together. So again, she was on this work call. Does anyone think perhaps that she just up and left her life? Or another option? What do you guys think about the fact that Nicola perhaps could have been abducted? So again, she drops off the kids. She is seen at 8:43, okay, walking east along the River Wire, okay, path. And then at 8:46, she arrives at the gate. 8:50, seen by a dog walker on the lower field, okay. Their dogs briefly interact before the witness leaves via the river path. Then at 8:53, Nicola emails her boss 3 minutes later. 9:01, logs onto a work team call. Okay, so 9:10, seen walking the dog along the upper field. So up here in the corner is like these, so there's bushes right here, and then there's a path that leads you into there. Then at 9:30, the team call ends, but Nicola stays logged on. 9:35, dog's harness and lead found on bench with her phone still connected to work call. So if she's logged into this team call, and then at 9:35, the dog's harness and lead are found on the bench with her phone still connected to the work call. And then at 10:15, alarm is raised by Walker, who finds Nicola's Springer Spaniel, Willow, running loose. Okay, so this is a very tight timeline if this is completely accurate. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that somehow that Nicola was abducted over in the upper field and somebody placed her phone in the dog harness on the bench? I mean, again, we're at 9:30, 9:35, the harness is found. So in a very short period of time, the police were contacted to say, hey, there's this phone and this leash here, and there's this dog that's, doesn't seem to have an owner to it. And, so it's a very short period of time. So do you think that perhaps an abduction was involved? And, and where did this abduction happen? And how did her phone get back on the bench? Was it Nicola that left it there on the bench in the leash? But again, team call ends, stays logged on, and yet she's in the upper fields here at 9:10. And it's just a very strange, curious case that what happened to Nicola. Now, again, I mean, out of the three things that make sense, okay, well, it would have made sense about the water, but I can't really see. Okay, so she trips and falls into the water, okay? Could that happen? The dog was dry. The dog hadn't jumped in the water or anything like that. Usually, too, of course, animals, when they're panicked because something has happened to their owner, usually they are, kind of staying around that area and going back and forth, whimpering and whining and stuff like that. So just because it's been since the 27th and today's the 13th of February, what's the chances that Nicola, who's a strong swimmer, tripped and fell into the water, and it would have been probably like waist deep when she stood up? Does that make sense to you? Does it make sense to you that she just left her life and is, how some people, they leave like a clue, but something's going on in their life where, how you never truly know what's in somebody's brain, what's going on. I mean, was she in a state of depression inside? Was she not? You know, nothing is showing that, but yet we don't know everything. We're just going based off of the things that we do know. Or was she abducted? So the most logical thing to me, considering they haven't found her in the water, well, I mean, they all could make sense, but the one in the water, they have, you know, like, again, Nicola, her body hasn't been found. You know, they've been looking for basically 2 weeks now, over 2 weeks. So then it becomes about, did she just leave her life, or was she abducted? I don't know. So if I had to pick one of these theories, I would probably pick that perhaps these two men, that these fishermen that were seen, and they seemed very creepy and odd to this gentleman, so much so that he reported them. And supposedly there was this red van at this farmhouse, and I believe it was the one up here, if I'm not mistaken. But what makes more sense? So looking at the timeline, and then thinking about it, you know, and then thinking the fact that her phone and dog leash were found. So my thing would be, I feel like if it was an abduction, that, and I'm not, that whether, I don't believe it was, say, would be a knife, probably a pew-pew, you know, was used, perhaps, to abduct her. And perhaps that there was two of them, and that someone raced back and put the phone there, and the dog leash, and I don't know. Okay, and so maybe my fourth thought actually would be, what do you guys think about the fact that whoever was in her life knew that she was going to be on this work call, knew that she was going to be going over to the parks, like say she had a conversation and said, yeah, I'm going to drop my kids off at school, I'm just going to head to the park, you know, and I'll be there for that team call, you know, when basically at any time during the point that she's within this park. So what's the chances of maybe someone from the work perhaps knew that she was going to be there, and maybe had these, perhaps, oh, we're getting deep now, these, say, two fishermen dude abduct her. What do you guys think of that? Is there some sort of, is there something about, you know, something in Nicola's life? She's a mortgage advisor. You know, is there something about that somebody just wants to, she's interfering with something, she's going to call out somebody perhaps, and that they know that she's going to be there? I mean, who knows, right? I mean, it's endless, but I mean, we got to try to think within the box a little bit here of what normal things typically will happen when somebody just up and vanishes and then there's no answers. Again, please leave your comments in the comment section of this video. Please give this video a like and a share. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you tonight at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time with the Delphi case and Abby and Libby. And of course, today being the anniversary that they went missing.